My anxiety got the best of me, and I was like, take all my money, just take it, because I'm tired. And I know that money is an energy exchange. And I was like, peace, love, and light, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Markita, your favorite nomadic mom, spiritual coach, and teacher of life. On today's video, we are going to be talking all about the cost of everything from my experience in Thailand. For those of you who do not know, I lived in Thailand for 60 days on a 60-day tourist visa, and I just want to go over a little bit about what the costs are and, comparing the US dollar with the baht, which is the Thai baht. For those of you who have not watched previous videos, if you haven't watched the previous videos, please be sure to go and check them out. However, I stayed in Koh Samui for 1 week, which is an island in Thailand. And then I went to Koh Phangan, right? Then after I went to Koh Phangan, and I went to up north to Chiang Mai. When I say the difference in costs are significant, like, let's get into it. So I wrote out some notes, but guys, it's like really, really a huge difference in cost. So I'm going to start with housing. When I went to Thailand and I went to Koh Samui, I got me an Airbnb. This was for my comfort and my safety, and for me to know that I would have me a secured place when I got there. I spent about $400. I don't know, that must be about maybe 1,000 baht, because I did this through Airbnb before I even got to Thailand. Then I don't know like what the exact translation of that amount was or what it is. I just know that before I went to Thailand for 1 week, I paid for an Airbnb that was about $400. Then I went to Koh Phangan, right? And so this island was pricey, guys. I went to that island. I rarely saw any Thai people. Most of the people that I encountered on this island were Russians. So I was seeing in a lot of the Facebook groups before I got to the island that the Russians were driving up the prices on this island, but I had no idea that it would be such a huge cost, like a huge cost to be on this island. And I stayed on this island for about 16 days, right? When I went, I just got and I got another Airbnb, and this Airbnb probably cost me about $200, maybe about $200 for 2 days. Was a 1 bedroom, but it was like all modern, everything was modern, and which I can appreciate, right? Because I'm from the United States, I have a standard on how I wish to live, and I am not all the way in a space to where those standards are able to be broken. And so I went to Koh Phangan with the intention of, okay, so I'll rent this Airbnb for 2 days, and then I'm gonna go on foot, and I'm gonna try to talk to some locals and try to find me a place to rent, that's cheaper, and more cost efficient. However, my anxiety and my worry with having my daughter kind of got in the way of that idea. And so my panic of I need foundation, I need grounding, that mindset kicked in very fast. And so, or the mindset of survival mode, like it kicked in fast. And so I'm like, I got the money. Like, let me just go ahead and secure us a place for the rest of the time that I plan to be here. And that's what I did. I booked me a place for like I think I booked it for 2 weeks, and it cost me about $500 for 2 weeks. So and I booked it through Airbnb, but I love that space. I fell in love with the home, but if you know, or if you looked at previous videos, you know that I had some huge challenges. I'm stressing myself out, too much, but it was kind of like a ripple effect because, I then ended up being, in a space to where it wasn't as efficient and, more as pleasant as the whole experience could have been. Plus, I was out of more money than I probably should have been investing. But okay, so I had that experience and I learned from it, right? So because we were on that hill, transportation was pricey, like I said, or they were driving it up because of the fact that they could, right? And I didn't know how to negotiate. And even when I tried to negotiate with them, they were not budging. Like they were not budging. And I'm like, okay, I had a homeboy there and he was like, you gotta negotiate with these folks, like, and I'm like, I'm trying to negotiate with them, but they're not budging, and it was becoming more stressful than it needed to be. It was about 400 baht each way. So what they were doing was, if I went to take my daughter to daycare and I had to come back, that was $800. And then when I was going to pick my daughter up and come back, that was another $800, right? So $800, 800, not $800, 800 baht in US dollars is about $23. So you're talking about I'm spending about 23 times 2, 46, about $46 and some change in a day to take my daughter to and from school. Yeah, like that was a lot, and I think they I think they took advantage of me. Yes, I had this privileged mindset also of like I just have it, which I did have it. So I didn't want to, like I said, I didn't want to put more on myself than I felt like I could bear. But once I found the motor taxi, he was charging me 200 baht each way, which was a significant difference. So that would have been $5.77 each way, so five, so about $11 going and $11 coming back. So we just cut the cost in half. That was still pricey, but I didn't know, like I didn't know that was still considered to be a lot until until I got to Chiang Mai, and I'm like like what? I was really being played, but it's okay. I learned my lesson. And so I'm going to go into daycare on this island. I was paying about 200 baht an hour, which is $5.77 an hour, or 800 baht a day. So if I took her there for the whole day, which was like 9 to 5 or 9 to 4, then I would pay 800 baht a day, which was $23, about $23. And if I just did it by the hour, which sometimes I did, it was about 200 baht an hour, which was about, it was 5.77, but closer to $6. Not bad, not bad at all. But again, this island was, the price of everything was hiked up, like hiked up. And I think that I had the option of paying weekly, but I didn't pay weekly because I knew that I would have to take her there back and forth every day, and that was coming out of pocket and extra cost to have to take her back and forth every day. And plus I wanted her to be with me as well some days so that we can explore and do some things. So I didn't take her every day when I first went to Phangan. Food on this island, a lot. A lot. Like I went grocery shopping one time and I think I spent close to 10,000 baht. Like I spent close to 10,000 baht and I didn't get much. I was spending about 400 to 800 baht on this island to eat, which equates to about, from about $11 to about $23 a day to eat on this island. And most of the time we were eating out. So yeah. So I'm going to move to Chiang Mai now. I wanted to break it up because I wanted to just compare the prices. So I wanted to break it up. So on when I went to Chiang Mai, it cost me about $200 for the flight. Oh, the transfers for the ferries were fairly cheap too, because we had to catch a ferry to get to Koh Phangan, which was about maybe $5 to $7, which is not bad. I got to Chiang Mai. I landed. They were outside and they were saying taxis. They were saying taxis. Do you want to order a taxi to take you? And I'm like, I probably shouldn't take a taxi from the airport because it's gonna be pricey. But then it was a part of me that was like, all right, let me follow the path of least resistance because they're already here. I got my taxi. They quoted me before I got into the taxi 150 baht. I'm like, oh, that's nothing. Like 150 baht is less than $5. And I was like, why did I not come to Chiang Mai in the beginning? I was, kind of disappointed in myself. But I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I can do this. So we went to our hotel. We stayed in the hotel for about a week before I found a place. And I did end up renting a place on Airbnb, but I went offline. I went off Airbnb with the host. I was able to negotiate with him and or renting a place for a month for um about 2,200 baht, which is about $635 a month. And then the electricity and the water end up being about 2,000 baht for the month, which is about $57. As far as transportation around Chiang Mai, I never spent over 300 baht. Like I never spent over 300 baht a day for transportation in Chiang Mai. Like, and I'm talking about going back and forth, and then going back and forth to daycare, like, and even exploring or doing anything. I never spent over 300 baht a day. 300 baht a day is about $7. Daycare, I gave them 1,100 baht for daycare, which is about $31 for the month. Well, it wasn't exactly the month because I kept her home with me for a few days, but it was about 24 days that I paid for. But I think it was $1,200, 1,200 baht, 1,200 baht for a day, which is about 35 bucks a month, right? Yes. So I so food. I never spent more than 400 baht a day on food. I did go grocery shopping quite a few times, but over I never spent over 4,000 baht when I went grocery shopping, and I was going to the big box grocery stores. I never got the chance to experience any markets. I think I was being a little lazy. Well, I know for a fact I was being a little lazy, but I also was like going through a lot mentally, so I didn't want to like overload myself with trying to communicate with those barriers while out at a market. So I just chose to go to the big box grocery store. It probably cost me a little bit more, but because I was already experiencing so much, I chose to place my energy where it needed to be placed sparingly, if that makes sense. All in all, I would just say I spent a lot of money on those islands. Do I regret it? A little bit, but I only regret that I did not do more research. I feel like if I would have done more research, or if I would have actually listened to the people in the Facebook groups that were saying that everything on the island was like becoming a lot more pricey, then I probably would have only stayed there for probably like a weekend or something like that. I would have cut the time shorter, but because I was on the island, I'm like, okay, let me explore the island. I really want to explore the island. I want to see what it's like to live here. I stayed for longer than I probably needed to stay for. So yeah, I can't have regrets based off anything that I didn't know. This is all a learning experience. And I would just say going in, just look at the specific area. When you're going to Thailand, look at the specific area that you're going to be going into. Research the cost of the area that you will be going into, because as you see, like, it's going to be different in different parts of the country. Just plan accordingly. Don't be afraid to negotiate. Don't be afraid to say no. And for anybody who may be traveling there with a child or a young child, just breathe. Just breathe. Because my anxiety got the best of me, and I was like, take all my money. Just take it, because I'm tired. And I know that money is an energy exchange. And I was like, and now I'm like, because they took all my money. But it's okay, because it's gonna come back for me. Gonna come back to me. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you all have any other questions, or you want to know anything more about the experience that I had in Thailand, please be sure to comment them. And yeah, let me know what else you all would like to see from me. Peace and light.